So we have seen all this thing. Let's go to top one. See this difference between waterfall and agile methodology. So at least learn few key differences between waterfall and agile methodology. So waterfall methodology is a model which each stage of product lifecycle occurs sequentially. So just first point you remember. So each stage of the product lifecycle occurs in sequentially, one after the other only. First one completely done, then next phase will start. That's the waterfall model. But agile methodology is which follows proper sequential, linear, and iterative approach. So basically, an iterative approach, and so parallelly also it will run. That's the difference mainly. That is a more sequential, and agile methodology is so parallel and iterative approach. Waterfall methodology divides the software development lifecycle into different phases. So, but it comprises of single cycle and single release only. So basically, single cycle, single release only will be there in the waterfall. But agile methodology so divides the software development lifecycle into sprints. So we'll divide into sprints. So it comprises of a repetitive number of iterations and several releases. So generally we are following every 3 months a release will be there. So 2 months development and testing, and third month the release will be there. So that's how we will approach. Some companies will follow most of this agile process. Some companies will do monthly releases also. So it depends on their requirement. Okay, so that is how the agile methodology works. So waterfall methodology can be said to be very structured and strong in terms of its models, and agile methodology is very flexible. So, and it's very rigid. Once it started, you cannot change anything in the waterfall model. But agile methodology is not like more flexible. So even requirement changes comes also, you have to accept in the agile methodology. But waterfall, it's not possible. So in waterfall methodology, the distance between the customer and developer is long, because you don't need to bother about that, the communication between customer and developer, because you already have requirements and customer will be very rarely will interact. Because the long-term planning scale, that's why you have not daily interactions with the customers. In agile methodology, the distance between the customer and developer is very short. Daily you will interact with the product owner. So waterfall model, detecting problems within takes a lot of time, because so there is less time for the testing team, right? So that is the reason. Agile methodology, problems are discussed very efficiently and quickly. Low project schedule risk, but here high project schedule risk is there in the waterfall. So waterfall methodology ability to quickly respond to the changes is very less. So you won't respond to the changes. Once it is started, you cannot change anything requirements. Agile methodology, you always accept the changes, requirement change. So that's the one thing. In waterfall methodology, testing phase occurs after the development phase completed. Agile methodology, testing is usually carried out in parallel with the development and so development phase. So to ensure other verification activities are completed. So waterfall method is quite fitting for projects which have a clear requirements and no changes are accepted, no changes are required in the requirement, then you can go for this. Agile method is suitable for projects which continuously evolve the new requirements and make the changes. Then you can go for the Agile methods. Maybe down the line, you have now requirement. You want to refine more requirements, you can refine and then develop later also. So such kind of parallel executions, iterative approach, you can apply here with the Agile methodology. Okay, so that's the main difference. At least 2-3 points you remember. Okay, that's more than enough. You don't need everything to tell. Got it? So you can first, waterfall is a sequential model, and Agile is a iterative and incremental model, linear and iterative, incremental, and parallel approach. And the customer interaction in the waterfall model is very less, and more customer interaction in the Agile methodology. Customer can preview the product, so very less in the waterfall, but the customer can give see the product very early, within the weeks rather than months in the Agile methodology. So that's once the development is done, testing will take place in the waterfall. In the Agile, so you can do a parallel activities with the development, and testing activities will be carried out parallel. So that is at least few points. Okay, you should be able to answer. Then you'll get a better impression. Not required everything you need to answer. Okay. So here also I have given you can go through at least this one, key differences here where I have given. See that you can see that, right?
Yeah, I'll be sure to read it through.
This one is good. Okay, you can go through these points, at least few points. Not required all, few points. Okay. So that's all about this. And so we need to start one more thing. Let me show you that. So there are different levels of testing. So levels of testing is which testing when you will perform. Basically, when you are testing, they will deploy the code in different environments. So like this, I just want to be very high level. First, you have a development environment. They will do their own testing, unit testing. So there is a component testing. Component testing means each function they will deploy in one environment and they will test it. So basically, individual components will be tested on the individual environments. So this is, for example, T1 environment, this T2 environment, this basically a test environment I'm saying, okay? Test environment 1, 2, 3. But each environment, the component, the function will be different. The code will be different on top of the main application. So this is the one M1 new function, M2 new function, M3 new function. So they will deploy this M1 module code here, M2 module code here, M3 module code. So here one tester will be there, here one tester will be there, here one tester will be there. So they will independently test their new feature. So they tested, they execute all the test cases, they will file the bugs, and then developer will fix them, and they'll deploy again, you will retest, then so you will give this a sign off here in this module wise also. Then you will deploy in the integration server. So this code and all three modules code will go into this, and here you will perform integration testing. Integration testing is nothing but combining all the individual components into a single unit. Then you will check the data is flowing from one module to other module or not, and whether they are talking each other or not, you will check in the integration testing. So integration testing is done by testers only. And even developers will do that one round, but mostly it's on your responsibility. Component testing also done by testers, but unit testing is done by developers. So then once this is tested, and this code will be moved to staging environment. After this, user acceptance testing will be done. Then it will move to production. So this is how code will move. So, sir, why you are testing in multiple environments? The configurations will be different, okay? So this pre-live environment is almost similar configurations of production. It's a mimicking the production environment. Production means the live environment you are using right now, Facebook, LinkedIn, and any, so Gmail, all this, so websites you are using, that's a production or live environment. So before this live before, you have so many environments, you will test, and then you will keep moving the code to different environments to see how it is working and all the errors. That's why basically you might have, this won't be there in all the companies, but this might be there one QA. So this entire thing will be considered as a one QA. So like this, they will, they might consider this entire part as a one QA. Okay. Then this one is a UAT. So this one is UAT, they will consider. So this is the UAT they will consider, and this is the production. Finally, production will be a different. The production is very big. So few companies, all these models will be, they will deploy in one environment. That's called QA environment, we call this. So what we call this? QA environment. So this is the staging, we call this. Staging environment or UAT environment, people will call that. Then this is the production environment. So these are the different environments you will be there. So in the companies, and then you will test in these environments, and this code will be pushed to here also. Who will do that? That is done by development team. You don't need to worry. Only your job is testing. So whether the functionality is working or not, you will check in these environments. That is the how it will be. So the live means it will be used by many people if it is a web application. So that's the this. So how you will test in different environments. So this is how the code will be tested and moved to production environment. So any doubts on this, Sanjit?
None so far. Again, I've covered not. I mean, yeah, we sort of covered this in our formal education too. Same component testing. I did integration testing and acceptance testing. So I have a general idea of how it goes, but now I'm seeing it as more of a like how would it work in a company phase? Yeah, it's making sense now.
Okay, good. Yeah, this is how you will know any company you go. This is how process will be there. Directly they won't push in the production environment. Production also one more backup server will be there. One more server will be there here. First, what they will do, this will keep ideally, okay? They will keep ideally this one. And this is the working. This is the, so working, okay? It's in operational mode, okay? This is the, maybe you can call operational mode. So it's operating. Okay, people are using this one. When the deployment is happening, what they will continue this. Okay, then first they will deploy the code first here. So they will push this code to here. The production another server, another production server. Maybe so this will be in one area, and this will be in another area. Okay, that's how people will maintain. It's not they won't keep all of them in one area. Suppose suddenly this goes down, and immediately they will switch on this one. That's why you won't see a downtime for Google. Did you see any downtime? Facebook, right?
No, it's usually just quick, few seconds. YouTube used to go down. You'd see monkeys are working on it, and then in 5 seconds later, it's back to normal. Because
they have so many servers, production servers. So they will deploy this code here, and then they will turn on this one with the new features, and again they will turn off this one, and they will deploy this code here also. So now this is working, right? They will keep, and they will do a simple sanity test here. Basic testing they will perform, whether those are working or not after deployment. Otherwise, without basic testing, they won't move. They won't switch on to the customers. So they will do basic testing. So that is the how real time the environments will be tested. Okay. Yeah. So any questions? So this is the complete overview of how testing coding will be moved environment by environment till the live production environment. Okay. So that's it. So tomorrow will. Is it possible for you tomorrow, Jan, very early?